And without fail, because I talk with my hands and I just like exist and I'm really animated, I accidentally start the video with hand gestures every single time before I have something to say. And every time it happens, I'm like, I don't really want to turn it off now. So I guess you get to prep with me too. So immediately right off the bat, some energy I'm feeling is like, expansion and contraction. Expansion, one thing expands, one thing contracts. It's like a dynamic, a back and forth kind of energy thing that happens. It's not like negative, it's like it's just like an innate quality of something, some kind of dynamic. One thing expands, the other contracts, one thing contracts, the other expands. I don't know what that means. Let's see what decks we're gonna use. So, Moonology. Feel like this is a good one. And Starseed. I think those are what I feel called to use. Let me see, anything else? Well, maybe. No, I'm really not feeling anything else. I'm not sure why. Okay, well, let's get into it then. We have Moonology and Starseed, so it feels cosmic. Does that make sense? Cosmic. You know, and Moonology. The kind of dynamic of the sun coming up and the moon kind of fading back. And then when the sun goes down, the moon comes out. It's like when one thing expands, the other contracts, and one thing contracts, the other expands. It's this duality. It's this balance, interplay, dance. Take that as you will. I also have decided that I want to be a lot more authentic in my readings, and I feel like I suppress a lot of my messages I get. The way I receive messages from spirit, the speed at which I channel, sometimes I try to kind of suppress that in case it's, you know, weird to some or some don't take it. But here's the thing, take what you need, and if it doesn't resonate or it just sounds like nonsense statements, then it's not for you, and that message is probably for somebody else, and that is okay. That is completely okay. Okay, what do you need to release, waning moon? I'll show you in a second. I do not feel like stopping shuffling. It doesn't feel like I should. What do you need to release? You and your loved ones are safe. Hard work is paying off. Conclusions are within reach. Full moon eclipse. Interesting. Okay, we got a waning moon. What do you need to release? Love that snowy landscape there. You and your loved ones are safe. New moon in Cancer. We have a couple new moons. Interesting. Your hard work is paying off. New moon in Capricorn. So the thing that needs to release, it's interesting that the moon is waning. So it's growing, right? Which is interesting because release, you usually think something is leaving when you release something. But what do you need to release coming out with you and your loved ones are safe and your hard work is paying off? That is so interesting. With it waning, what do you need to release? It's like something needs to expand, therefore the other thing needs to contract. That is interesting. Full moon eclipse, and then it's new moons. So these ones are waning as this thing needs to expand. Your commitment is being tested. First quarter moon. And full moon, surrender to the divine. That literally. These things, possibly beliefs about, you know, security and safety. Maybe these beliefs are waning, that you are confused about this security, this stability, whether it be financial, home life, whatever, your security in general. There's a conclusion of this energy of confusion and not understanding, and we're surrendering. This is what's growing. This faith, this trust this is what's growing. What we're releasing is all of these old, outdated kind of structures. And what is expanding is this beautiful divine surrender. I love that. And I love that all of these cards are like bluey purple too. I love that. You know, we have a lot of darkness coming in here, but this like nurturing, compassionate crab in this, you know, new moon in Cancer, this safety, this security, it comes through. This divine intuition coming through. I love this. Fascinating. Yeah, we have to contract the self-doubt. You know, if we're really loud about our self-doubt, or we're constantly ruminating, or that's what we are like embodying is that doubt, that's gotta go away, you know? That's gotta go away to leave room for expansion in the way that we do need. What does Starseed have for us? Let's see. I really do like this. I don't use the Moonology deck a lot, but I've been using it lately, and I actually, I think it's pretty powerful. It's pretty powerful to allow the moon to guide you, because I think a lot of times, especially in like spiritual communities, we're very about conscious behaviors of like love and giving, and we talk about surrendering to the divine, but I don't think we do it from a place of like understanding our subconscious, understanding our inner things, inner insecurities, those kind of things. We kind of like overshadow them with positivity a lot of times. We kind of what am I trying to say? We kind of spiritually bypass by just putting on a bunch of positivity, sunshine, rainbow band-aids, instead of actually taking time to feel what needs felt, so that we can expand again after the fact, I guess. That is another thing. I channel very fast. When I read tarot, especially for myself, like specifically tarot decks, there's a reason that I usually am slow in my readings, and I don't really express the fullness of my channeling, because it can be a lot and it can be too much for me. And I don't know why I'm telling you this. Maybe there's a message in that. It's really surrendering to that uncomfortability with being seen. And I think the moon fully understands that, but still mirrors that divine light. Even in the shadows, the moon is like, well, yeah, but it's important that we shine, right? It's important though. Maybe that's a message for someone. Maybe that's a message for someone. But are you like truly committed to honoring yourself, honoring the divine, honoring what is meant to expand? Or are we gonna stay in this lack? And I don't think we are meant to stay in the lack. We the Hathors, deep love, mother's milk, birth as a portal. So this is very motherly energy, right? Deep compassion, deep motherly energy. I'm feeling like a lot of people need this for themselves. Whether the doubts are about our abilities or our skills, or if we're gonna be secure, if we're gonna be safe, you know, we don't know what's coming next. It's releasing this lack of faith by honoring yourself, maybe reparenting yourself to actually understand that you are safe, to understand that like you will be held and protected, right? Trying not to get really rambly, but that tends to be the case. I'm a little out of breath. That happens to me when I'm reading. The Starseed cards don't want to come out as easily. I've really, you know, the moon speaks in the shadows, but oftentimes it's hard to hear anything else. I don't know. deep subconscious release here. When the subconscious becomes conscious, it can be hard to deal with. But if you are gonna step into that archetype of the mother for yourself, allow yourself to be held in the dark. Even in the dark, you're safe. I mean, again, take it as you will. Even in the unknowns, you're safe. You're held at all times. Lifting the veil, questioning everything, anything unaligned must go. And I think what's unaligned here is any lack of faith in the greater plan. I think the veil is being lifted here on just the level of how unaligned these beliefs have been, whether they're based on the past or based on how work has gone in the past, or how, you know, if you've been betrayed in the past. It's really questioning those beliefs and being like, are those inherently connected to my self-worth, or are those actually just outdated patterns that I'm finally expanding out of because I'm growing as a person, right? It's like your mother watches you, takes care of you, nurtures you as you grow, right? We are being called to honor that and do that for ourselves, and also recognize that the Divine Mother is also right beside us, holding us along this journey too, reminding us that we can release what does not serve. Deep cellular healing, Arcturus energy, physical and emotional healing, deep cellular healing. And I feel like it's like a long time coming too. Like, you're definitely meant to heal. You're not alone. Isolation, physical connection, community. Yeah, it's like this contracting energy that you've been in for so long. You know, whether you're feeling alone or just feeling like completely insecure and like you have no connection and like you have no support and you have nothing to lean on, it's really a call to like heal that deeply. A veil is being lifted for you that is reminding you that you are literally infinitely held, period. Like, you are never alone. It is impossible. There is a connectivity between all things. You are just as divine as the person who's a millionaire. You're just as divine as the person who's created a business from nothing. You are doing wonderfully. Wonderfully. You are always held. That's the thing. You are secure even if your physicality does not make you feel that way. The truth is you're not alone. I mean, it's like a simple reading, but I just keep getting different like pieces of the same message over and over again. And I'm trying to put it in different ways, but like at the end of the day, I think I didn't even need to pull cards because of the energy that I felt at the very beginning. I didn't even realize they knocked over my dragon. I guess I feel the need to share that as well. There is more energy within you than you believe. There's more power, more capability within you than you know. The entire premise energetically of this is things contract so things expand. You've contracted for a long time, so your healing has been able to start expanding, right? And once you expand that healing and you expand, then what's going to contract are all of those insecurities. And on the flip side, it's because you have expanded these insecurities so much that you've been able to witness them. So your power has been contracting, and in that contracting night, it has been healing deeply. When we sleep, we heal, right? In the dark, in the shadow, you have been healing to the point that now the veil is lifting and you are going to expand once again and be in your power And then that dynamic of contracting and expansion, it's never going to take you away. It's never going to be true isolation ever again. It has felt like it in the past, perhaps going through a dark night of the soul, right? But it's that new day coming. It's that lifting the veil and realizing what has always been is expanding now. And healing is happening, right? At all times. But I think it's finally shifted. It's finally shifted for you. It's finally shifted that, you know, the poles have shifted, right? Like we're finally flipping. We're finally like doing the thing. You know, like I just envisioned an hourglass, right? An hourglass is, you know, the time has run out. We're gonna flip it. It's gonna start a whole new cycle, a whole new era where this energy of lack is literally being flipped on its head and becoming abundance, right? Messenger, Sirius energy, bringing harmony and balance. Harmony and balance, right? We've emptied all the sand. The only thing that is going to balance it is now flipping, right? We have contracted for a time. And now it is time to expand, basically. I'm going to pull one more card and try to sum this up, which I, again, think I kind of did at the beginning of the reading, but we got two cards and they flew across the room. Give me a moment. Wow, that's fascinating. That's fascinating. Before we read them, can we just look at this? Let's just, first one I saw. Other card. Do you see that? Do you see what's happening here? It's been this. Now it's this. Crazy. First card, the Void. Stop, embrace winter, great cosmic womb. This is where you've been gestating, in the Divine Mother's womb. This is where you've been, in the contraction. You've been here, in the void, healing. Feeling. Jump in. Andromedan energy adventure. Say yes to change. It's a transformation. It's time to expand. It's time to jump into just absolute faith. Jump in, reminding me of the Fool in tarot, about to jump off the cliff. Why? Because he knows he is going to be supported. He knows he's going to land. He knows that the divine is holding him. No matter what. There is this movement that is bringing harmony and expansion to the places that have appeared to be disintegrating, pointless, the places where we're like just completely hopeless and lacking faith in anything. When it felt like that, what was actually happening just couldn't be seen on this plane, right? A lot of the time shadows or like shadow figures or like shadow things are actually so bright in another dimension that we just can't perceive it with our like eyes, right? It's the same concept where this has always been here, but the perception and the period of time was actually for your healing. So you couldn't perceive it. You were embracing winter, nourishing and nurturing your feelings and your sensitivities. You're human, feeling darkness and sadness and alone and disconnection. This is the dark night of the soul. After this period of time of healing, you expand and rise like a phoenix into somebody you have always been supposed to be, but haven't met yet. And you are about to meet them. And I'm so proud of you. And I love you. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you, and I am grateful for the time that we've spent together. You are doing great. Good job. I'm proud of you. You're so loved, you're so held, you're so supported, and you deserve the world.